All right, it's the Ordained High Priestess. I'm gonna do questions today for the TikTok, the 90-day extension. I have a whole bunch of questions and stuff written out. Also, number two, really quick, I accidentally deleted my TikTok app from my phone when I was trying to just temporarily, clear space on my phone. And what was I going to say? I'm trying to find a workaround. There's a post that I found on Reddit where it talks about downloading a VPN and also changing the settings in your app store. So I'm going to try that when time and money and space allows. But in the interim, as y'all know, I reset my decks. I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell 3 times and then work it from there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards because I have questions that need to be answered. And so far, the readings I've been doing have been pretty much on point. I just saw one on the timer, which is interesting because that is significant of many things. Let me go ahead. So the first question I have is overall, what is going on / happening? Let me shuffle these cards. I'm going to shuffle one more time. I'm going to follow my gut here. Because, like I said, I had a feeling there wasn't going to be a ban. I just felt like this was all smoke and mirrors and there was a lot of grandstanding and there's something else going on. All right, so the first card is overall, what is going on / happening? King of Cups in reverse. So, King of Cups in reverse, that is your water signs, right? So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, if you want to go along that. I want you to use these as timelines because I'm not really feeling that these are the signs of people. If they are, I will indicate that. Like, I'm really just reading this for the energy of everything. So with the King of Cups talks about, and I just saw 222, so partnerships, very funny. The King of Cups in reverse talks about someone who is a master, and since it's in reverse, it's someone who's a master of emotional manipulation. It's someone who is not really good at following their instincts, and sometimes this person may be subject to emotional manipulation. So what I'm seeing here is that there's a lot of emotional manipulation, there's a lot of appeasing to the ego, and there's a lot of I don't want to say breads and circuses because that's not what I'm feeling, but it's a lot of kissing someone's ass, so to speak. I'm sorry I'm not using the best terms. I'm being told to draw a total of 3, so 2 more cards. Here we go. So this is telling me, like, by appeasing this person's ego and submitting themselves to emotional manipulation, it becomes a situation where this feels like a sale. And it's almost a loss, but it's a loss more so for the people. This feels like a sale, but it's like he gave into emotional manipulation, dipped, and then it became a situation where now this person can finally rest. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure if the situation that's happening is almost like saying goodbye, because again, I'm not sensing a theft. This feels more like, okay, I gave this away because I knew I could type of deal. It's almost like I gave this away because, or I did this thing because I wanted to rest. It's almost like I'm tired of fighting and having my back against the wall and dealing with people. Being told to draw 1 or 2 more cards. Oh boy. So also with the 4 of Swords, this could also mean a death or ending. I rarely read this card as a death or ending, but sometimes when it comes up this way, that's when I sometimes feel that energy of death or ending, to bring in something new, because it seems like this person was tired of doing all the work themselves and they were looking for backup, and this backup is almost like bringing them into compliance, which this is a Taurus card. So this is talking about going into compliance, and this is talking about following rule and order and the law of the land, so to speak. All right, so my next question is, because this ties into my personal theory, my question is, does this have anything to do with taxes and or the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that was passed? I think it was like back in 2018, but don't quote me on that. I can't remember the exact date, but does any of this have to do with taxes or the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act? So my theory is that this has to do with taxes, because if you look at the extension, if a 90-day extension goes into play, this could be in time for this person's quarterly business return. And remember, taxes are due on April 15th, so they have a lot to gain from this situation. If you've watched my TikTok, the video is on there. I did this TikTok before, the shutdown or the ban, because I kept telling y'all I had a feeling there wasn't going to be a ban. And so far, my gut's been right. But my theory was it had something to do with taxes and money, and that's what I'm still feeling. Let me shuffle one more time. Cut the cards, and I'm trying to take my time, but at the same time be mindful of time. So does this have anything to do with taxes and or the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act? We're saying draw 5, 6. Okay. I'm currently working with Marty while I'm reading these cards, so bear with me. Huh. Interesting. So there's a lack of rest or a lack of sleep going on, and there's a lot of crying over spilled milk, right? Or at least that's what we're getting the appearance of. In addition to this, it's almost like this is a childish and petty move, because this talks about returning to your childhood home. This is talking about appeasing, doing inner child work and all of this. But this more so feels like, whatever this situation is, I'm not, okay. So based off of this reading, I'm not feeling anything with taxes, which is interesting. I thought it was taxes, so if it does have to do with taxes, and let's say I'm reading these cards wrong, I stand corrected. But what I'm seeing here is none of this has to do with taxes. I'm feeling more of a crying over spilt milk and no longer losing sleep. It's almost like someone was like, okay, I regret selling my child, but no, I take that back, because the strength card is a Leo card. So that talks about gaining strength. So even though they gave away their child, so to speak, or something that was their baby, so to speak, because that's what I'm feeling, they have a lot to gain from it. And they're going to come back bigger and better than ever, I guess. Ugh, this sounds so corny. But at the same time, by feeling rejuvenated, it becomes a situation where there's a lot of delays and a lot of confusion and secrets. I find it funny how the moon, which is a Pisces card, came out, and this is a Leo card, but it's in reverse, which means a lot of secrets are going to come to light. It's a lot of chaos and confusion. It's not as bad when it's right side up. But what I'm seeing here is with the moon in reverse is that there's a lot of chaos and confusion and secrets. There's a lot of making a sale and thinking like, okay, well, I wipe my hands clean of this, but there's, again, I feel it's not super strong right now, but strings attached, but there's hidden clauses with this sale. So yes, it is going to affect them tax-wise, but it's really like, I feel like it's going to be a loss, which is going to better bolster, funny enough, them on paper if it's taxes. Let me see number 3. I'm looking down this list. Does this have anything to do with creating a centralized state government media? Because I've been seeing that going around. And the other thing I wanted to reference real quick while I'm reading these cards is the Ken Klippenstein article. He did an article, I think, about 4 days ago, and I just read it today about Blinken and the State Department allowing influencers to like take over the app so that they can influence US, the voice of the US overseas or something. Unfortunately, I can't link anything because I haven't been posting as frequently as I should on here, and YouTube is giving me issues with showing my ID and all sorts of stuff. So what I'm going to say is this: just look up Ken Klippenstein. His last name is spelled Klippenstein. So does this have anything to do with creating a centralized centralized state / government media? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on question 3. I have like 11 questions, by the way. Oh, this is not look. The star came up again, and then when I was looking through, oh, here we go. So there's a lot of business deals going on which are being delayed. It's being delayed. It feels like on purpose. And what I'm feeling here with the star, which is an Aquarius card, is obviously wishes, karma, connection, all of that. But I'm feeling more so the connection, like the stars are reading to me as if it's the internet. And I find that interesting, especially since we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups, I think I talked about it last time in the last reading. Whenever I've seen this in my readings, it talks about social media. This feels like with this social media thing, it's a lot of gossip, it's a lot of hearsay, it's a lot of things going on, but also it could be creating a space where there's incorrect or negative information coming out. And I think that's where the gossip and the hearsay and everything is going on. All the speculation is going on because no one is really taking the time to sit down and figure out what's going on and reading through the facts. So they're banking on people to not do their research and their due diligence. It almost feels like it's a decentralization of this app or whatever is going on, right? Like this is feeling to me like the internet, social media, and that there's going to be a lot of chaos and confusion going on. There's going to be a lot of misinformation and gossip. And as a result of the gossip, it feels like one or a few people are going to come out on top as a result. And they're going to be enjoying like the peace or enjoying, their money and their riches from this. It's almost like these people are profiting off of data, which we already knew. But it also speaks to people profiting off of the confusion. Which makes sense because if you think about everything that has led up to this point, it's been a whole cacophony of misinformation and a whole cacophony of chaos and panic and people not using the discernment and not thinking things through. And then with the Page of Wands, this is Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy, but this is more someone who's like being arrogant, rude, petty. The Page of Wands, I always read these people as like a teenager or a young child or someone who is childish and petty and small when it's in reverse. So it almost feels like this person stands to gain a lot. I keep saying this person because it feels like one person. They stand to gain a lot from having control over the message and the situation. So what this is feeling like to me is, yes, it may have to do with taxes, but it's leaning more towards having a centralized or controlled government media, which is backing up the Ken Klippenstein article and some of the things that some of the other influencers are saying. So I'm going to ask now, what was the purpose of disabling the app for less than 24 hours? What was the purpose of disabling the app for 24 hours? And I think this video is going to be pretty long. It's probably going to be a half hour because this is a long read, y'all. What was the purpose of disabling the app for less than 24 hours. Okay, so the purpose of disabling the app for 24 hours, that's interesting. Oh, no, no me gusto. Queen of Wands, right side up. This is someone who is interested in the current or the people, I guess. This is Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy. This is giving me like, okay, I'm going to help you and I'm going to show you how to navigate these things. And it's going to make people feel like less like their backs are up against the wall, but the damage is done. I feel like the damage is done. People are slowly licking their wounds and pulling the knives out of their back. And now people are feeling like this was a trap and that they're being spied on, because this is an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini card. And I find it interesting how the Queen of Wands and the Page of Swords popped up right side up this time around, because these were reversed when I did the reading last time for part 2. The other card that comes up is the Sun in reverse. The Sun in reverse is a Leo card, but it's almost like, again, it feels like one person or certain people are meant to be on top. This feels like an oligarchy, for real. But basically it's like one person who's meant to be on top, or certain people are meant to be on top without restrictions or without feeling like their back is up against the wall, but they're going to be stepping on other people and harming them while using their data or their information, because this talks about spying. This talks about keeping tabs on people. And then, you know, the Sun, this talks about someone who is selfish, wants to be the center of attention, wants to be in the center of things. Like, it's a very narcissistic quality. So even though this person has the appearance of being a benevolent leader and a benevolent helper, I'm also seeing that this person is giving the appearance of help, but they're not really helping, which is interesting because the Queen of Wands is right side up. Usually this is someone who is like steadfast in their convictions. They're very assertive, and they're usually helpful, and it's not a catch. Okay. Let me fold this in half, or fold where I'm at now on this paper. I folded it. I'm on question number 5. Something is off. Like, before I go to question number 5, they're saying draw one more. Okay, so this becomes a situation where people are walking away from things, like, because they see the BS that's going on here, and they're seeing like it's time to walk away. This Queen of Wands is not sitting right with me, and I keep staring at it, and I don't know why. It just feels like, even though it's in a benevolent position, right side up, looking at the cards next to this, it just feels like someone who's like, okay, we'll take the pressure off of you and we'll stop, you know, stabbing you in the back, but you have to give us something in return, or you have to give us information in return. Like, this feels like legit, like spy versus spy / like monitoring or surveillance, like, for real. And then it's saying like, okay, you have to agree to not have your app be the center of attention, or you have to agree that you gotta let me be the center of attention, and this is why. And then because of that, a lot of people are gonna walk away from this app, or they're gonna walk away and boycott, or it's gonna cause a lot of people to leave. Because this is talking about walking away from an emotionally charged situation, or a situation that is just really hurtful. It just feels like a lot of people have an emotional attachment to this app, and rightfully so, but it's walking away from a situation. Okay. Will the app be sold? If so, let me ask that question first. Will the app be sold? I have a follow-up question next to it, but I have a feeling if I say, will the app be sold, it'll get to the point. Oh my God. Being told to draw 3. Okay. Will the app be sold? Okay. So, will the app be sold? So, whenever I see this card, this is like someone who's, again, it's similar energy to the Eight of Cups. But what I'm seeing here is this is walking away from a situation. This is moving away and throwing out things that no longer serve you. And the Queen of Cups, which is your Pisces, Capricorn, Scorpio card, this is talking about how there's someone who's using their intuition or their instincts or following their gut to review this business deal or a job deal, because it feels like the Knight of Pentacles is Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, but it's almost like this person, I feel like this person's being impulsive regarding this business deal because they want out and they want to wash their hands of this and they want nothing more to do with this. And as a result, with the Knight of Pentacles, what's going on is that, one, this is a bad job offer, this is a bad deal, and this is something that was not meant to happen, or it shouldn't have happened, but it feels like it's going to go through anyway. I could be wrong. But what I'm feeling here overall is that this person has a really keen instinct, but I feel like they don't have a good business instinct. So to clarify, okay, I'm being told to draw one more card. Ace of Wands. So regarding a business deal, it feels like, okay, I see this as a bad deal, but the Ace of Wands is talking about job opportunities or business deals. So it feels like there's a possibility the app may be sold. If not, there's going to be like a merger and or possibly a takeover. I feel like a takeover is coming, honestly. That's my gut feeling. As a result of this crappy job offer business deal, it's almost like, okay, if you walk away from this, again, here we go with the emotional appeal. If you walk away from this, we'll let you, we won't let you keep your job, but we'll have you do something else, or maybe you can go off and create something else. Because I feel like once this happens, this guy, whoever who owns the app, is going to go off and create something new or create a new like business for himself. Because the Ace of Wands is always about creation. And it's also, aces are always wishes. And with the wands, this always talks about business. But what I'm feeling here is that this person is going to turn around and say, okay, well, you know, fine, I'll just go do another thing or do the next best thing. So I want you all to keep that in mind. Now, with people speculating that Facebook bought it, I'm not really getting a strong feeling. I feel like they did have a hand in this, like the owner, but I want to know why Facebook made a TikTok account, because everyone is freaking out about that too. Why did Facebook make a TikTok account? Why did Facebook make a TikTok account? I'm being told to shuffle it a third time and then cut it in half. Yeah, this is going to be like a half-hour video at least, I feel it. I'm on question 7 and I'm doing the best to take my time while staying focused. This doesn't feel right to cut. Okay. Why did Facebook make a TikTok account? Nope. So Facebook made a TikTok. Oh God. Smoke and mirrors. It's the same 2 cards from last time. It's a lot of stuff in reverse. This is not looking good, y'all. Okay, so Facebook made a TikTok account because they know that their prospects are barren. They know that their business is not really the greatest right now and it's going dry. The Empress is Taurus Libra energy. This is the energy of fertility, beauty. This is the energy of creating things. So what I'm seeing here with the Empress in reverse is that their business is basically gone dry, or maybe their stocks are going down, which we've seen and it can be confirmed. But what I'm feeling here is that whatever creative ideas that they have, they've run dry and barren. So what they're trying to do is create a new space so that they can manifest or make or have new ideas because they've run bone dry. But again, this is telling me about smoke and mirrors. And as a result, there's a lot of hidden things going on behind the scenes. So what I'm going to warn y'all again and again and again is use your discernment and read between the lines. What I'm seeing here with the High Priestess and again the Magician showing up back to back, like in the other reading, it feels like there's smoke and mirrors and there's definitely like a partnership or something going on that we don't know about. With the Knight of Swords, this is your Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini energy. This is talking about not thinking before you leap. This is talking about being really impulsive. And this is talking about, again, this is giving me hostile takeover energy. But this is giving me like, okay, I'm going to charge right in and not think about the consequences, which is going to cost them a lot of money. With the King of Pentacles in reverse, this talks about banks. This talks about corporations or CEOs. This talks about bankers, accountants, like anyone who has their hands in money. This also talks about businesses, but in this case, the King of Pentacles in reverse is showing me like this is not a good business decision. This is not a good business choice. If there is going to be a merger or a hostile takeover or wherever the case may be, this is not a good idea because it's almost like whichever company is more successful, they're going to suffer in the downfall. And also the King of Pentacles indicates to me someone who is not good at managing their money and not managing their resources. And as a result, and it's because of the impulsive and hasty decisions that they make. They don't think things through before making any sound financial decisions. And this also tells me whoever is advising them or whatever is going on in this situation, there's no sound financial decisions being made. It could also mean like the coffers are dry, which means that whichever company is trying to take over, if Facebook is making a TikTok account because they think they're going to get money, I feel like, again, this is a bad business decision. And I also feel like this is a situation where it's just going to further the coffers. Like, it's just not a good look right now. What advice do the American people need to know? I am not being told to shuffle. I'm being told to draw 11 cards. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. This is getting wild and wacky. I can tell you instantly what's going to happen, or what do the American people need to know. Because we're on question 8, so we're making good time. I'm going to be a little bit over 30 minutes. So the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is talking about, pay attention to things that are going overseas. Whenever I see the Knight of Cups, this is always a visitor from overseas. So this could be speaking to the Xiaohongshu app. This could be talking about international cultural exchange. This could also be talking about continuing to have empathy for people in other countries. So this is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. This could be talking about being wooed by other countries to come over to seek solace or to have refuge or be a refugee. I really hate the term TikTok refugee and how they're using it regarding the app. But I was just going to say in general, this is talking about keeping your head on a swivel and keeping your head, keep following your instincts and keep doing the cultural exchange with people, because it's going to open up new doors for everyone. And it's going to make you realize some truths, and maybe it'll help y'all if some of y'all are looking to create or do your businesses, do that way, or it may open up pathways to travel, because this card a lot of people sleep on. This could also mean traveling, because it means like ships, right? Setting your ships out so that, setting your ships out to sail. So again, I'm feeling like, you're putting yourselves out there and then it's leading to travel. So this is confirming my gut. And this is talking about taking control. So again, do not sleep on the Chariot card, even though it's a Cancer card and it talks about returning to home and all these things. It also talks about taking control, and rightfully so. This is saying taking control, or taking control back from tyrants or tyranny. The Emperor is an Aries card. It's in reverse, and we've seen it come up again in reverse in all my other readings or my previous readings. This is talking about taking back control from those who are abusing power, those who abuse others, and those who just do not follow the rule of law. This is going to light a fire up everyone's ass to kind of take back control and do what they need to do in order to regain control from themselves. It feels like a revolt or uprising. It's coming. And this is talking about people not being indecisive. Because if you become indecisive, it leads you into a place of poverty. This card, I always see this as long-term periods of unemployment, homelessness, poverty, unable to find work. So this is saying, like, search other avenues to take control of your life, as well as to start your own business and break away from tyrannical structures, where it feels like you have no choices, because if not, it's going to make these people are going to be bleeding you dry. And then with the Page of Cups in reverse, it's also saying, again, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energies, do not give in to people who manipulate your emotions or manipulate you in a way where you're running around scrambling and panicking like your head is cut off, like a chicken with its head cut off, because a lot of y'all were doing that on TikTok and it was driving me nuts. Y'all need to use discernment, which means use the facts and resources to sift through the noise to see what's really going on. So the Page of Cups here is talking about do not give in to emotional manipulations or offers from people. The way they did the TikTok ban, it affected everyone emotionally, and they were banking on that, because the emotional manipulation is not going to be able to help you think clearly. So again, we're talking about discernment and thinking clearly. This is your Queen of Swords, which is your Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. What y'all need to start doing is start operating on facts and start communicating more clearly. And also, when I say start looking through facts, I mean really sifting through stuff, and don't let your emotions rule over your head. I'm getting chills from this, I'm getting warm. So the Queen of Swords is also pointing towards the Wheel of Fortune, all these things, right? So when you start using that discernment, or you start using your instincts, or your the facts that you have in front of you, the wheel starts to turn. And this is a lucky, fortuitous thing. This is karma. This is putting things in motion. So once you start, I'm hearing, once you start using your intuition, things will start working in the favor of people joining together. And they won't be, going through the smoke and mirrors or the choices, and they'll be more apt to look at the choices they have in front of them and realize it's all smoke and mirrors, and choose the best choice that's meant for them. And as a result of that, see, this talks about a revolt or a revolution or fighting. Y'all are going to be able to call for backup and have each other's backs. I feel like we're going to see more. I'm not feeling protests. I feel like there's going to be, I hate that I'm going to say this, I feel like there's going to be more violent actions going on in the future. More violent acts of rebellion here in the United States. And as a result, it's going to light a fire up everyone's ass to really revolt. This is giving me energy of the American Revolution, the Irish Revolution, the Haitian Revolution, all the things that happened during the 1700s, the late 1770s, really, late 1700s, around the 1770s. This is giving me American Revolution Part 2. So what I'm going to say here is keep in mind that you have the power, and you recognize that you are the ones that are meant to take control of everything that's going on, and then work your way that way. I'm gonna put all these cards and fold them up to the side. So will TikTok shut down completely within the next 90 days? I'm hearing a no, but I'm being told to draw one card for that. this feels like a lack of charity aids and donations. This feels like withdrawing of money, and this honestly feels like a sale. So I don't feel like it's going to shut down completely. This is feeling more like a sale, and this is more so feeling like they're not going to get charity aids and donations, but this is feeling like a lack of help, a lack of assistance, which is going to push their hand. And it's going to be like someone putting the sword in the ground or putting their hand down, being like, you know, no, I don't, this is coming out murky. I'm going to draw one more. There's going to be delays because the Fool talks about in reverse, no new beginnings, stagnancy, delays, and not moving forward. The Ace of Swords in reverse means like, if you're thinking about it from a non-creative sense, this feels like, you know, unable to have kids, barren, whatever, but it also talks about a lack of ideas. And the Ace of Swords also is like an intellectual or a verbal wish denied. And then with this going on, it feels like the denial of aids and charity. This is really starting to feel like a sale that's being delayed. If so, what are we being distracted from? Like, meaning, like, will it shut down? Will it not? I'm still not getting a feeling of a shutdown, but what I'll do is I'll do another card reading to cover this as it gets closer to the 90 days. So, where are we being distracted from? Meaning us, the U.S. people. Oh boy. We are being distracted from people who are basically bankrupting the poor, and they're basically holding money to themselves, and they're being stingy. This is again going back to the oligarchy and everything else that I've been covering so far, but this is talking about people holding their coffers, all the rich going to a very few people being super duper miserly, and people clinging onto things because of the fear that they're going to lose their money. And as a result, they're using that as a vice to stop, not to stop, but they're using that to keep the money in their hands. With the Ace of Pentacles, that's what I'm feeling and seeing. The Devil card is here. This is your Capricorn energy. So this is like your corrupt CEO energy, where it's someone who, left to their vices, they become greedy. It doesn't feel like... It doesn't feel like a lot of people are going to be given opportunities to make money. And if they are, it's almost like who you know, not what you know, which is weird. And it feels like a lot of corruption and greed, which is sad because I feel like the Ace of Pentacles right side up is usually positive. But this is like, you know, having all the money in your hands. So there's a lot of greed, financial greed and corporate greed going on. And as a result, you know, we're being distracted from the fact that this stuff is going on due to infighting, when we need to pay attention to what's going on. We need to start doing some teamwork so that we can all help each other grow, all help each other win, all help each other get some money. And then, yep, that just confirmed it. And that we all need to work together instead of fighting for our coin. We need to work together so that we all become independent and free and start working for ourselves. So that's what we're being distracted from, that we have the power in our hands to work for ourselves and make our own money and be free financially, but we're allowing these people to take these opportunities away from us. And the social media apps are a distraction. Okay. Does this have anything to do with crypto? I totally forgot about that. I'm like basically reading my whole deck to y'all, but we'll see. Does this have anything to do with crypto? With the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like some of it does, because the Ace of Pentacles could be new ways of making money, and then when you combine that with your Eight of Pentacles, that's like, again, look how he's creating the Pentacles. He's making his own money. So I feel like, yes, it does have to do with crypto, but I'll draw a card extra for it. Yes, it has to do with crypto. So this is a good omen if you're looking into crypto. I know there's some people out there in the spiritual community for sure, and just in general, where it's like crypto is the next best thing. It definitely has to do with decentralized currency and crypto. Is there anything else that I missed? Being told to draw 5. Justice. So again, we get the Justice card right side up. It's a Libra card. We get the 5 of Swords. We get the 4 of Wands. We get the Page of Pentacles in reverse, which is your Taurus, Capricorn, and Libra card. And we get our 2 of Pentacles right side up. So the Justice card talks about karma, justice, balance. One of the things that I'm learning, especially after working with La Santissima Muerte, is sometimes justice isn't always fair. Even though right side up, I would traditionally read this card as justice being fair. Sometimes justice is just done to balance the scales or to give the appearance that the scales are being balanced. And I want you to keep your eyes on that, because this is talking about a loss or a theft and people getting away with those thefts and that loss. So it could be the fact that maybe people feel their justice system is rigged, which I personally believe as well. And also that maybe justice or things that we thought were fair were stolen from us, and it's up to us to create a new safety net. Normally this is like, good fortune, good luck, good deals, but just because it's not in our favor or it's unfair right now doesn't mean we can't turn it around. So again, this goes back to personal power. And this is talking about, like, don't give in to the tiny offers of money or the settlements or whatever, because it's up to us to restore the balance. So overall, what this is saying is that there is justice and there is balance within our communities and stuff. We just have to seek it and find it, and not allow people to distract us or not allow people to get away with breads and circuses, and not allow people to get away with hurting the population. And we have to allow people to create their own pathway where we're in a harmonious union with each other, and not allow people to underpay us for work, undercut us for our work, to screw us over with like material offers, because it's up to us to find the material and spiritual balance in things. And what else? Did I miss anything else? If we don't stand up for ourselves, if we don't stand up for ourselves, we run the risk of ruining relationships to each other, the community, and ourselves. And we run the risk of running barren or making ourselves have creative blocks. So you got to be careful of giving all of your ideas away, because it's going to become a situation where, yes, you're going to reap what you sow, but you're going to be exhausted. And it's going to cause a lot of drastic changes where you're going to be forced to use your discernment, the knowledge that you have. This is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy, and standing your power of using your words. So this is saying, like, it almost feels like you need to break away from the manipulations and the control and everything that's going on in order to... It's like getting rid of toxic relationships that drain you and run you dry in order for you to work for yourself, which causes a lot of upheaval, and it forces you to rely on your the mastery of your instincts and your intuition, the mastery of your knowledge. It's almost saying, like, we need to get together and combine our skills and teach each other how to succeed. We need to communicate with each other on how to succeed, and we need to communicate so that we can all grow together and not fail together. Because once we put our heads together and once we exchange all this knowledge and everything else, we're basically going to be the master of our own domain. So that's everything. This has been the Ordained High Priestess. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm going to post this up in a bit. And I hope by the time I get this video up, I'll have my TikTok up. All right. Bye.